Hey, it's Bitty Penny. Welcome back to my channel. Oh, catching up on the Margaret Miller challenge. Sorry, you guys, I've been a little out of pocket, but this is for week 23. Something rough, something that represents spring, a staple, and then some other parameters. Okay, or prompts. Here we go. I did quite a lot to this page. It's definitely, I could see where this is really more like art journaling or mixed media, but I'm also doing it for my collage. So there you are. Here we go. I have a stencil and I'm stenciling lunar paste into it for my something rough, just because it will give the paper a rough texture. And I wanted to do it in different colors. I bought the bundle of lunar paste and by golly, I want to use all those colors. So the first thing, it's like cooking in the kitchen. You got to give things, the things that take the longest to dry. You want to do those things first. And this is my background for my collage today. So I'm getting this done right away. And I'm cleaning off on this other sheet of paper because I just had too much paste that I didn't want to waste. And because I was mixing different colors that were wet, the red is wet, the green is wet. I don't want to dip my spatula back into the pot of lunar paste because I don't want to contaminate the colors. And then I'm using this gorgeous gold color over here on the side. Absolutely love the way this came together. And there's even a little flourish up in the top left corner that I also did in gold. And then here I am cleaning up again on that other sheet of paper. And I will be using this in the collage, but you could use it for anything like future collages or cards. And then I'm bringing in this beautiful stamp set from Iron Orchid Designs. I really wanted to put a bird on here because the bonus was something musical or something that makes music, something like that. I really should bring that book when I'm doing my voiceovers. And I'm holding it over to see which little birdie I want. And I decide that this is the one. I think any of them would have worked. I also picked a little bee so that I could have something upside down, which was also a prompt for this week. And I decided that I wanted my bird to be on a patterned paper and show through. So I'm going to show you two different things right here. This is a dye ink. Dye ink absorbs kind of into the paper. So what's going to happen here is I'm going to get an okay impression. I really should have been using my foam stamping mat behind it, but it's just being stamped on the glass mat. And then here, this is a Distress Oxide. With a Distress Oxide, it's a mix of pigment and dye ink. And so it sets more on top of the paper. I just wanted to show you guys that, because we have all these different tools, and the reason is because they work differently. On this one, I did use the black mat, and that helped a lot. But I really decided that I liked the yellow bird more. So I went ahead and got my fine liners. I haven't used these in a while and I totally love them. I had a color that matched this ink perfectly and I added in all the details. And I'm trying to hold it there and freeze it for you guys. It really shows in person. So I put the blue bird aside and fussy cut out this yellow bird and branch and trying to decide where I'm going to place it. I'm going to end up placing it here, kind of, covering up some boo-boos and stenciling and boo-boos of me testing to see if the lunar paste is done. And now I'm going to stamp this little bee upside down, headed for that nectar. I don't blame them. I bet those flowers taste delicious and make yummy honey. Oh, I hope you guys are doing great. I have been missing doing these collages, but at the same time, I kind of enjoyed a break. And then I almost thought for a wicked little second that I was just going to do 6 months and be done. And then I did this collage and I did another one. And I was like, what was I thinking? I mean, I have enjoyed this so much this year. Why would I quit halfway through? So I'm going to keep her going. Oh, we have, I guess, those moments. But it's nice, I guess, to rededicate myself. So I punched out some flowers from patterned paper, that foiled flat patterned paper. I poked holes in it. I'm making a faux button. One of the prompts was a button, whether it was wooden, paper, or otherwise. So I'm making a paper button here, and I'm going to thread some string through. Doesn't that ball of thread look hideous? Oh, I am just the worst with embossing thread. Once those papers come off, it's chaos in my craft room. And then, I don't know, these flowers just bugged me the whole rest of this video, but I end up getting them to a place that I am satisfied. But I did use like my nail file here to try to buff off some of the shine of that foil. The whole page is actually quite shiny because Lunar Paste has a shine to it. And then here's where I'm going to punch out, now that this paper is completely dry, I'm going to punch out my leaves to go around these flowers. With that branch just being, a partial branch and being cut off and me putting it in the middle of the picture, I really just wanted to put some flowers around it to make it all look more complete. I did bring in my watercolors and mixed up kind of a neutral blue. So what I did was I picked a real brilliant bright blue and then just put like a dot of green in it to neutralize it a little bit, and then watered it down so that I can get the soft neutralized blue in the sky behind this area. Of course, the Lunar Paste needs to be completely dry before you start watercoloring around it. Otherwise, it will move and everything will get a little messy. We don't want that. So I'm going to fill this in with blue, and then I was like, well, now I can't stop there, so I'm going to have to paint the flowers. And I end up filling in pretty much everything but the gold border. I even paint in the leaves, and I'm just kind of getting a look here. Yeah, it just feels a little incomplete. I mean, it's not bad. It just felt incomplete after I had added that soft blue sky. So I brought in one of my favorite colors. I brought in a really vivid yellow. I thought, again, this would help tie in my bird and all of that gold detail that's over on the edges, on the right edge and bottom edge of this picture. These stencils are so rad, you guys. I love having 8.5 by 11 stencils for art journaling, for junk journaling. They're just awesome. I will try to find these and link them down below with an Amazon affiliate link of mine, because that's where I bought them. They're really inexpensive. I think you get 10 or 12 in a pack. And this one's really cool because it has all these different borders. So even if you didn't want those flowers, you could just stencil the borders onto something. And yeah, I love that you could stencil just along the bottom, the width of the page or the length of the page. To me, they are such a go-to, and they're just so fabulous. If you missed it, I released a flip-through video of a journal I made yesterday, and a lot of the pages where the white pages were, the back of some printed pages, I just used these 8.5 by 11 stencils and stenciled one soft blue color and then a soft like reddish coral color, and filled the whole page for the journal. So they really are helpful. All right, the flower with the thread, I did put a staple in it because a staple is another one of the prompts, but then you can't really see it. So I'll bring in a staple again later on in the design of everything, but I'm just gluing things down. I'm going to be throwing in a lot of flowers or 3 flowers and a lot of leaves, and I'm still not done figuring out what I'm going to do with the flower cluster. Yeah, so we're almost halfway done. Like, I'm planning on just doing a recap of the first 6 months of collage here. So I have been doing this every single week in 2023 so far. And so today is my catch-up day where I'm showing you this collage. And then tomorrow I'll show you the one that's actually for this week, and I'll be all caught up. Yay. And in that video, I'm also going to show you a more simple collage that I made for week 22. Because it was so simple, we had a death in the family. I just didn't record a video that week, but I am going to show you what I made. And so then I will really be all caught up. So I did add some yellow gold and yellow fine liner to the bees. And I'm thinking at this point it's done, but really it's not. Still, those flowers are kind of bugging me. So I grab my nail file, I file on them some more. Again, I'm just trying to knock back some of that shine. Then I added some pink ink. I added some brown ink. I'm like Goldilocks, y'all. Then those were too dark and I wasn't liking it. And I added brown to even the leaves. Don't necessarily love that either. So I decided to bring in my pink acrylic pen. It's like a magenta, and mimic the design from the flowers above and try to make these look like little mini buds of those flowers that are above and behind the bird. And that made me feel better. Like, that brought me to a resting place with this collage today. It was really simple to just mimic those designs from above, and I even kept it really quite simple. Of course, they have more detail than this does, but these are just the little buds that are coming up. I hope you enjoyed this collage today. I really enjoyed making it. Here is me using 3 staples along this bottom border edge. I just kind of put them in and they just kind of blend in, but as you look at it longer, they're obvious. I did put some washi tape on the back to cover them up so that they don't damage next week's collage. And that's it. Here it is. I think it's lovely. I had a completely different idea for this originally, but I'm so glad with the way it came together. I'm so glad I kept working on those flowers. You know, just keep going until you're happy when you're doing a project like this. And you know, it's just for me. And then I share my journey with you, so you get to see it. Thank you so much for watching. I have all the information for Margaret Miller down below in my description box. I leave it every single week. I hit all of the parameters plus the bonus. That always feels good. Yay. And yeah, tomorrow I will have out week 24. See you then. Bye.